Hello, today I am going to explain you about how to write a code, Verilog code for shift register. So there are different kind of shift register like CISO, PISO, PIPO and universal shift register. So one by one I'll be explaining. Let's start with CISO. So first, what is a register? Register, it is like combination of some flip-flops. Normally we use D flip-flop because a D flip-flop it stores the value. Okay, so register work is also stores the value. So you can say register, it is like a combination of some D flip-flops. And what is CISO? CISO means serial in, serial out register. So you can see it is like shift register. It can be left shift or it can be right shift. Okay, so serial in, serial out means output is 1 bit, input is also 1 bit. So how will CISO register look like? Just take an example of 4-bit CISO. So 4-bit CISO means it will store 4-bit values. So I have to take 4 D flip-flops. So now I am designing a shift register, right shift register. So right shift means it will shift the values towards right, or I can say MSB to LSB. It will shift the values. So now this one is my MSB. And this is LSB. Okay, so connection will be from LSB to LSB. So here I'll be providing input. Now this value will go to here. Next, this value will go to here. This value will go to here. Next, this is my final output. Let this 4 different D flip-flop. Let this is temp 3. This is temp 2. This is temp 1. And this is temp 0. So temp 0, it is my final output. Okay, so how the values are shifted? So temp 2 value, like temp 3 value is assigned to temp 2 value. Okay, now next temp 2 value is assigned to temp 1. Temp 1 value is assigned to temp 0. And whatever the input I am giving here, that input value is assigned to temp 3. So how can I write this? Temp 3 value, whatever my input. Okay, and temp 2, that is equal to temp 3. That means whatever the temp 3 value, that is assigned to temp 2. Next, temp 2 is equal to temp 1. Sorry, temp 1 equal to temp 2. That means temp 2 value is assigned to temp 1. Next, temp 0 is equal to temp 1. So final my output equal to temp 0. So this is how I am going to write a code for shift register in Verilog. Okay, so this is for right shift, or you can say shifting from MSB to LSB. Okay, let's start the code. So module left shift, sorry, this is right shift, or I can say simple CISO. There will be clock, reset, data in, data out. Okay. So now input, clock, input, reset, input, data in, next output, data out. Okay, so now I have temporarily these things. Okay, these are the internal signals. If you can see, my input is D in, output is D out. So whatever this temp 3, temp 2, temp 1, temp 0, these are internal signals, and these signals need to store the value. So I have to declare them as range. If they need not to store the value, like simple this connection, then I can declare them where. But here I need to store the values. So I have to declare this internal signals as temp. You can take any name. I will be taking temp. So here range 3 down to 0. Temp. This is my internal signal. So always @ pause age of clock, make age of reset. So here I have taken active low reset. So if not reset, active low reset means here if not reset. So remember, whatever the register signals or whatever the range signals you are taking in your design, always try to initialize them with respect to this reset signal, because this raise default value equal to X. If you are not initializing them and this output is connected to other designs, then those designs output also may become X. Okay, so always remember whatever the range type signals you have defined, whenever you are activating reset or with respect to reset, always initialize them. So here temp equal to 0, or I can write 40-bit 00. Okay, else begin. Okay, so these things I am going to write in my code. These things are simple, whatever is done here. Okay, so first temp 3 equal to d in. So temp of 3 is equal to d in. So here I have to use non-blocking assignment. As I have said, while designing sequential circuit, we have to use non-blocking assignment. If we use blocking assignment, what will happen? That I have explained in another video. Next, temp 2 is equal to temp of 3. That means temp 3 value is shifted to temp 2. Then temp of 1 is equal to temp of 2. Then temp of 0, okay, is equal to temp of 1. And model. Okay. So now here, what is my output? My final output that comes from temp 0. So here I can write assign data out equals to temp of 0. Okay. So this is one way of writing the shift register. Okay. So now here in this type of code, what is the main? So this is the simple. If it is for 4-bit, then I can simple write it, not a issue. So design 9. Okay. Okay, so now let someone ask for 16-bit, 32-bit shift register. Then if you are going to write like this, then it is going to take so much lines of code. So how can easily I can write these things? This is my data in. Okay. So like if I want to change it to 16-bit, 32-bit, I can do it easily. Okay. So now another way of writing the code. Okay, let me just copy this one because my input output will be same. So module CISO let 1. Okay. So now let first understand what is happening here. Okay. So initially let temp equal to 0. Now I am giving d in equal to 1. So what will be the temp value? Temp value will become 1, 0, 0. Because 1 will come to temp 3 and it will become 0. Now next again I have given d in equal to 1. So temp value will become temp equal to 1, 1, 0, 0. That one, whatever I am providing, that will come to here. And this one is shifted here. That means it is shifting to right. Next again I have given d in equal to 1. So again temp will become 1, 1, 1, 0. Again I am giving d in equal to 1. So temp will become 1, 1, 1, 1. So you can see in every time what is happening, whatever the values from temp 3 to temp 1, that values are shifted 1 bit right. You can see temp 3 to temp 100, sorry, 100, that is shifted to here and it is added here. Next, this is 110, this 110 shifted here, d in is added here. Next, this one, so they shifted here, d in is added here. So this thing I can write temp equal to concatenation operator d in. Whatever d in I'm giving, that is added to MSB. And these things will be there. This LSB part is discarded. So I can write here temp 3 to 1. Okay, so here you can see this will work same as this. Okay, so whatever the things done here, so d in means initially d in will be equal to 1. So temp 3 to 1 equal to 3 zeros. So 3 zeros will be shifted here, 1 will be here. Okay, next d in equal to 1. So temp 3 down to 1, temp 3 down to 1 equal to 100. So 100 will come here, d will be added to MSB. Okay, so here let you want to design a n bit write shift register. Okay, so what you have to write? Temp equal to D in, then temp n minus 1 down to 1. Why n minus 1? Because for 4 bit, I have taken temp 3 down to 1. So for n bit, I have to take temp n minus 1 down to 1. So this will be like a n bit shift register. You can take n value 4, 8, 16, anything, it will work. Okay, so we will compare this output with this output. If both are same, then my logic is correct. So remember this one. This is the easiest way of writing a code for shift register. So now here, okay, so here simple I can write temp is equal to the data in and comma temp 3 down to 1. Okay, so now next you can think this as a reference model and this as my main model. So both the outputs I have to check whether both the outputs are same or not. If they are same, then my design is correct. So whenever you are writing a shift register, always try to write in this manner. Because for 4 bit, it's okay, not problem. But for 8 bit, 16 bit, it will take unnecessary lines of code. Okay. So now let's write a test bench for it. So module test page clock page reset page data in page data out and another page data out reference. Okay, this is for reference circuit. Or this should be where my output must be of where type. Okay. Next, I am doing the position wise instantiation. You always practice with name wise. Okay. Name wise will take time, so I am just doing position wise. So here M1. So here data out, it is correct. Next, another is CISO 1. So here M2 and here data out reference. Next, I have to generate a clock. So always hash let 5 clock equal to not clock. Okay. Next, NSL begin. So clock equal to 0, reset equal to 0. So I can give some delay hash 4 or hash 7. It's up to me. As it is a asynchronous reset, I can give any delay. If it is a synchronous reset, then I have to wait for one passage of clock. So hash 7 reset equal to 1. So here data in is also equal to 0. Okay, so after some time I have to give the values. Now here remember, okay, this one is your clock. So whenever you are providing the values, this is one passage clock to one passage clock, like one period. Within one period of time, your data should change only once. If you are changing 2 or 3 times, then clock flip-flop will not able to capture it. Okay, so I have changed my data here. So next I should change the data after one clock period. Okay, if I am doing this is my clock and repeatedly I am changing the data like this, then what will happen? I will miss some data because here it will be getting captured and here it will get captured. What about this data? So this will get lost. So remember, whenever you are writing the test bench, always remember to provide one data for one clock period. Don't provide 3-4 data for one clock period, else flip-flop will not able to capture those values. Okay. So here I can write at the rate passage of clock. That means I'm waiting for a passage of clock. Then hash 1 delay. Why I'm giving hash 1 delay? Because I'm not changing the value exactly at the clock. So here, this is my clock. I'm waiting for passage of clock. After that, I'm giving one clock delay. Here only I'm changing the values. Okay. So here I can write repeat 20. Remember, whenever you are writing sequential circuit, don't simple give delays like #1, #2, #3. Okay, so there you will miss some values. So if you want your flip-flops to capture all the values, then make sure that your data or your values should change once per 1 clock cycle. So you can write like this, or simple, if your value is working, like your design is working with respect to passage of clock, here you can write @nagauge of clock. That means always at the nagauge of clock time, you are providing the values. So within 2 nagauge clock, there will be 1 passage clock. We are changing the values only once, so properly value will get captured. Okay, so we will see in the waveform what will happen if I'm simple giving the delays. Okay, so here always at the rate passage of clock, then #1 delay, then let time equal to $random, then end. Okay, so now you can give it from previously or after also, it's up to you. Let's write it here. Okay. So here I'm giving the values. Okay. So next end. So you can write any number of initial blocks here. Another initial block I'm writing to compare the values. Or simple, I can write always block also, always at the rate passage of clock. See, even if I'm providing values nagauge of clock or after 1 second of passage of clock, but my output will always come with respect to passage of clock. So this logic is for comparing the values. This is like self-checking test bench. If you don't read self-checking test bench, you can directly compare in the waveform, but again, it will take time. So it's better to write a self-checking test bench. So always at the rate passage of clock begin, I'm giving #1 delay. Then if data out equal to data out reference, then $display design is correct. Yes. Design is wrong. Okay. So and bottom. Okay, so now here I have to give the dollar finish also. So here after #100, I can write dollar finish. So now if you want to check the waveform, then dollar dump file .pcd dollar dump. Okay, so repeat begin end, always begin end. And it is getting 28. Okay. Delay 19. So after end of each statement, put this semicolon. So always it is giving me design correct. Let you want to display, okay, what will be the input and output values. So here, dollar display data in equal to %b, data out equal to %b. So why we use this shift register like SISO? SISO is used to add some delay. Okay, let you want that data should get after 10 nanosecond or 20 nanosecond of time. So you have to take one D flip-flop, or with respect to that, you have to adjust the clock period of time so that your data will come after some delay of time. For combinational circuit, we can use buffer. Okay. For sequential circuit, we can use the same. So it is used mainly to add delay. Okay, $dump file. Only $dump file, $dump variables. So now you just see here, okay, my data in, it is changed once here, then it is changed here. Okay, so this passage of clock correctly captured my data 1. Sorry, data 0. Now this passage of clock correctly captured the value 1. This passage of clock also captured the value 1. Next, this passage of clock captured the value 0. Okay, so now let what you do instead of doing this, if you change the values so many times within one clock, then what will happen? Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just commenting this one. And here you have let given some #2 or #3. Okay, so now here, okay, here this passage captured the value. Okay, now see from this passage to this passage. Okay, so it captured the value 1. Now here I am sending a value 0. But is that value 0 is captured anywhere? It is not going to be captured because this 0 it is changed here and there is no passage. So I am going to miss this value. So if I don't want to create this kind of scenario, I have to make sure that at each, like within one clock period of time, my values will change only once. Okay. So always write either these things or simple you can write always negage of clock at the rate negage of clock. Okay. So this is all about your CISO. Okay. So it is like right shift. Right shift means I am shifting from MSB to LSB. Let you want to do same, okay, with left shift. Left shift means value will change from here to here. So let's shift means I am shifting the values from here to here. This one is my MSB and this one is my LSB. So input I'll be giving from LSB. Output I am getting from MSB. Okay, so this is my temp 3, temp 2, temp 1, temp 0. Then what I have to do? So I have to write temp 0 equal to D int, temp 1 equal to temp 0, temp 2 equal to temp 1, temp 3 equal to temp 2. I just have to reverse the assignment direction. Now here, So here temp 0 equal to temp in, then temp 3 equal to temp 2, or temp 1 equal to temp 0. Initially it was temp 0 equal to temp 1. So I'm just reversing the direction. Now here temp 2 equal to temp 1 and temp 3 equal to temp 2. And output I'll be taking from temp 3. Okay, so this is the code changed here. Now next, what the change I should be doing here. Now similarly, let's take an example. So this is for left shift. So now let initially temp equal to 0, 0, 0. So I have given dn equal to 1. So temp will become 0, 0, 0, 1. Remember 1 is added to LSB. It will shift from LSB to MSB. That means left shift. Next, dn equal to 1. So temp will become 0, 0, 1, 1. Next, dn equal to 1. So temp will become 0, 1, 1. You can see 1 is shifted towards left. dn equal to 1. So now temp will become 1. So now in the shift register, whatever the values I am getting initially, I am giving initially, after 4 clock period of time, I will get that output. Here I have given 1, so this one I will get after 4 clock period of time. So it is like I am adding some delay. So now how this is working? In this format, if I want to write, I can write temp equal to concatenation operator. So dn is added here. The LSB. What about MSB? So here to here, these values you can see 100 is shifted here. Next 110 is shifted here. Next 111 it is shifted here. So I can write temp 2 down to 0. That value is shifted. So if it is n, then I can write temp equal to temp of n minus 2, because for 4 bit I am writing 2. So for n bit, so I have to write n minus down to 0, and here it is dn. Okay. So here I can write data in, and this part I can take here, and this is done. So temp 2 down to 0. Now let's see whether I'm getting all the design correct or not. So my design I'm getting correct. So you can see, so here my data n is equal to 0. Okay, so just one. Okay, instead of $random, I'm writing data n equal to with 1. Okay, just whatever the example I have explained here, same example. I have to check whether after 4 clock cycle I am getting the value 1 or not. So now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I am getting the values 1. So whatever the values I have given here, that value I am getting at the 4 clock cycle. You can see. So that means shift register is working properly. Okay. Okay. So this is all about your CISO. So shift left, whether it is shift left or shift right, you can do like this. Okay, and always remember this format, because if it is a n type, let someone is asking you to design a n bit left or right shift register, then within this one line of code, you can do it easily. You can take a parameter and you can do it. Okay. Okay, so now next one is SIPO. So why I'm explaining SIPO with respect to CISO? So they are both working principle is same. So SIPO means value will get shifted serially, but what is the difference? Difference is in output. For CISO, output is taken as 1 bit. For SIPO, output will be taken as 4 bit. That means output will be taken from here, taken from here, taken from here, and taken from here. Parallel out, that means I have to take 4 bit output. So initially I was just taking data out equal to temp of 0 or temp of 3. For SIPO, I have to take data out equal to temp of 3. Everything is same because data is shifted serially. So principle is same as SISO. Just output I will be taking 4 bit. So here, so how can I write this SIPO? So just one change. Here data out, I have to take 3 down to 0. And here I have to write data out equal to temp. So this is the only change from SISO to SIPO. Okay, you can see data out, it is like 4 bit values. Everything else will be same. Okay, just this one will be. Okay, you can check. Okay, so let SIPO register. Okay, so SIPO means output is a 4 bit. SISO means output is 1 bit. Next, it is shifted serially. So in which manner I have explained you same thing. Okay. So if you understand the SISO, then SIPO just instead of 1 bit output, take 4 bit output. From all the flip-flops, take the output. This is serial in, parallel out. Okay. So next one is PIPO. This one is very easy. It is like parallel in, parallel out. So it is like a D flip-flop only. In D flip-flop only, we give the input, we take the output. So here it is like a 4-bit D flip-flop. Like behavior is same as D flip-flop. Okay. So if you know the D flip-flop code, then in the D flip-flop, you are taking D out equal to 1 bit. So here you have to take D out equal to 4 bit. Everything else will be same. Okay. So output reach. These things are not required. Simple D flip-flop. Okay. If reset, then data out equal to 0, else data out equal to data in. Begin and end module. So this is the code for PIPO. Means parallel in, parallel out. You can see parallel in, parallel out. So whatever the values I'm giving, I'm taking. So it is like combination of simple flip-flop, D flip-flop. Behavior is same as D flip-flop. This is my D flip-flop code. So instead of 1 bit, I have taken 4 bit. Okay. So here in the test bench, so it just, okay. So here D in will also be equal to 4 bit. Okay. So D in equal to $random. So this thing comparison not required because data in equal to data out. So I just have to display the values. Okay. Okay, now you can see whatever the data in I'm giving, I'm getting those output. Okay. Okay, so now this is the, sorry, it should be in this manner. Okay. So whenever, let by mistake you're mixing blocking and non-blocking assignment, this is not acceptable. Whenever you synthesize this code, it will give you error that in the same always block, you cannot mix blocking and non-blocking assignment. If you want to do some blocking and some assignment with non-blocking, then write them in different always block. Okay. So this is all about your shift register. Okay. So next shift register is PISO. I'll be explaining this in another video. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section. Thank you.